with the delivery, just a good shot. Found the gap. No chance Mulder was going to stop that. And that's what happens on these good decks sometimes. You can bowl a good ball and you can still go for four. Bowl a good ball the next ball, and something might just happen if it hits that crack or not.
There's a little conversation with umpire Wolf and Ngidi as to where he's running. Such a lovely shot. And I go back to the New Zealand game against Pakistan. I remember Babar Azam trying to breach that area, and Glenn Phillips and New Zealand were just hunting as a pack in that area square of the wicket. There wasn't a gap getting through there to be found for about 4 or 5 overs. And that's where your top fielders, your best fielders, circle that area. Make it hard for you. Get that group squarish.
How good was Markram? And that last bit of the innings started off struggling just a little bit, then he found his mojo and some spanking great shots to the offside, made room and crashed them, passing it off in cover. He's a strong player. Hits the ball extremely hard to mid-off and mid-on. Really was needed, that tonic 50 from him. $28 for 1. Still a ball to come, in fact. Who's heading the fantasy game then? Rickleton, 100, 157 points. Markram with his magical innings, 50 no time, 100 points. And then Bavuma. Rassi Van Dusen was an important knock as well. Forget the achievements of the middle order so quickly, and they are the unsung heroes as far as I'm concerned, because they construct, they build, they attack, and they win matches. Six run, 28 for 1.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, ज़ेन में आओ। कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
For Sadiq Atal, I think one thing that he does well is that he plays the ball late. He's not really not rushed into playing those shots. He waits for the ball. Oh, that's a beauty. Length and a slight bit of movement away from the left-hander's off stump.
Just an area for concern for Jansen here is the last ball of the previous over. He's bowled him a beautiful bouncer and he had a slip in. The first ball of this over, he's gone nice and full looking for the edge and he doesn't have a slip in. You kind of always want to have that wicket-taking mentality where you feel like you can get a wicket all the time and you're hunting for a wicket. Right now, he's put him under pressure 2 balls in a row, and yet he doesn't have a man catching. Just like that. It's so important that the last ball of the previous over, he's put him under pressure, and the first 2 balls, he's gone past the outside edge. And still doesn't look like he's asking his captain for a guy to catch there. It slips.
Well, again, we talk about test match line and length, and it's set up with the 2 short balls. One was a wide, and then one he gloved down to third at the end of Jansen's previous over. And then, as Ramesh talked about, picking up the length early of a tall bowler after you've pushed them back is something that is challenging, but great line and length bowling.
Feel very strongly about a bowler not captaining himself. I mean, he's the boss out there. He knows how much the ball is swinging or seaming, so he's got to set his own feel, right?
Yeah, often when I'm talking to my bowlers, I always tell them that they get one fielder, the captain gets the rest. And when he's letting go of that ball, he needs to know where that ball is going to go. And with all three of those balls, Jansen is hoping that the ball is going to go towards the wicketkeeper or towards the slips. And there's no one there.
Also, you study the technique of the batsman. You know, there's a high wind when he's looking to play the ball around that off-stump area. Yeah, it's been that length bowling, that straighter length, the shorter balls have worked because it has meant that
They haven't gone that full, but they've hit the good length. And so for a young player like this, he did play domestic T20 in South Africa 3 or 4 games the other day, Siddiq, and he's got 100 already against Zimbabwe and a half century in his last 2 innings in ODI cricket. He averages mid-40s. Now it's early, it's a small sample size of 6 games, and this is a tough outlook, but now they've got a guy in at a gully position.
.28 for the loss of 1.
Syngenta is a beyond Zaire, is a beyond hai Jadoo ka chirag. क्रिकेट सीजन फ्री क्रिकेट स्ट्रीमिंग ना मिलने की सूरत में इर्द गिर्द के लोगों से लड़ने से परहेज करें। Zong मंथली प्रो मैक्स बेसिक लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको। क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दिन ऑफिस से छुट्टी ना मिलने पर ब्लड प्रेशर ना रेस करें। Zong वीकली डिजिटल मैक्स लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको।
So we're pretty even actually between these two nations. What a magnificent shot that is. It's without doubt the prettiest traffic jam I've ever seen. Ever in my life. With Christmas tree.
Fan of traffic jams?
Not really, but I don't mind traffic jams. Particularly if you're not in it. South Africa just got their noses in front in terms of this power play. Out of and the top echelon around the world. Genuine strike bowler. Charges and can't get it past backward point. The intent's there from Afghanistan, but at the moment South Africa are just nailing their enough.
Yeah, lovely situation to be able to bring on your premier strike bowler, and just having a word there with Ibrahim, just asking him if he doesn't think he'd be better off staying in his crease rather than running at him.
Tell you what, the last thing you want to see behind the bowler's arm is a black cat. Tell you, the bowler's running in, he can bowl 140 clicks, this guy, and you got a black cat behind him.
I suppose it could be worse. It could be white, and then they'd have to get the cat to move because it would be interfering with the colour of the ball.
Just going down leg side. Again, the intent from Afghanistan. They're not scared to hit over the top. This is a very good bowling attack, South Africa, one of their strengths actually. Not scared to try and go over the top with this power play situation. Line was there, just missed it.
What they've done well with Ibrahim, especially, Ibrahim likes opening up the offside. He stays leg side of the ball. Probably stay out of the line of that black cat too, but he stays leg side of the ball. And with the ball coming back in or angling in, it makes his boundary option a little difficult.
What you'll also have to watch for is, as the power play is completed, the 10 overs, that South Africa will use their aggression. they will use those short pitch deliveries. We didn't see many from Afghanistan. Maybe they don't have the personnel who can get to the speeds required and bang it in short. But it's a lesson that they learned in Sharjah in the UAE when they played against Afghanistan. Those wickets didn't allow them to bowl short pitch deliveries. And they'll be very keen to keep using that express bounce and pace that they possess and try and push them back.
Well, in the last World Cup, 8 games Rabada didn't open the bowling. 8 of the games they played out of 10. So he's used to this role, and in that over,
क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दिन ऑफिस से छुट्टी ना मिलने पर ब्लड प्रेशर ना रेस करें। जोंग वीकली डिजिटल मैक्स लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
रुको छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात, चल मेरे लाल।
तो हो जाए पाकिस्तान के नाम टपाल दानेदार का एक और कप।
when Gurbaz fires, anything's possible. He's gone. And South Africa are really pleased to see the back of him early. Round the wicket for Jansen.
Yeah, maiden over from Jansen in his last one was superb. We couldn't quite understand. Have a look there, no slip in place. Have a look how many times the ball goes past the outside edge. A little bit of movement away there, so it was really good from Jansen. His control, his length was all superb. For the last delivery, they did actually have a third or fourth slip in place. But I think he's definitely worked on his consistency. He's always been capable of those deliveries, Smithy.
It's not a wide, that. Must have been touch and go for a wide. And it's short, it's real short. But it's steepling bounce. Steepling bounce.
Talk about control of length. What South Africa do, their natural length is back of a length, but they've almost lived there, not allowed the batters to drive at all. The Afghan batters would be looking to drive. They're better off the front foot. Most of these batters are very good with that drive, so they've been deprived of it all throughout these 8.3 overs.
Ibrahim Zadran also, he's giving himself room, and it's going to be more difficult to get the delivery from Jansen, who's coming around the wicket, bowling wide on the crease, left arm, angling it back in. He almost would be served better to try and go inside the line. But there's plenty of bounce.
Well, there is steepling bounce. I mean, he's got an advantage over most men because of his height. But what Bavuma has also done here, he has now strengthened the offside field because he's trusting his line. And he's saying, look, I'll take out a mid-wicket. So mid-wicket's available if you want to hit across the line. And he's put the Saucy in at a short catching cover.
Well, Smithy, we've got one delivery to go. Could it be back-to-back maidens? You don't often see that in the 7th and 9th era.
Single to spoil your fun, Paulie. 9 overs gone, 31 for 1.
सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत। इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग।
क्रिकेट सीजन में इर्द गिर्द के लोगों से लड़ने से परहेज करें। जोंग मंथली प्रो मैक्स बेसिक लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स। मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
Oh, what a rip snorter that was. Oh. beauty.
Yeah, I think this is what the pace bowlers for South Africa possess, is because they're a bit taller and they can just hit the back of a length, and there might just be a little bit of movement. That one nips back nicely, and some steep bounce as well. It's real quality. You don't have to have the ball swinging around. It's the ability to hit that back of a length as hard and consistently as possible.
They haven't found a way out of it, the Afghan batters so far. That is a shot out of frustration rather than anything else. He has a big swing at it, misses it. But the length, that is the bother for the openers, and now number 3, back of the length all the time.
Actually, sitting up here, you don't get a great perspective of the atmosphere or just the size of the crowd, but honestly, working during the break, you can get a real sense of just how special it is for the Afghanistan fans in particular to get this up close and personal in a world championship situation. It's buzzing down there, it really is. Need is 1 or 2 big shots, and that'll make them buzz. They'll be buzzing after that one. Not very often Rabada goes down the ground for 6.
Yeah, this is probably his fullest delivery of the over, and that's maybe why it was a little bit easier for Zadran to take it downtown. But that's an exquisite shot. Just stands, holds his pose, and it's beautifully played.
Chip has the way past. Drama.
I got the feeling as he was running in, there might be something in the back of his mind saying, okay, try and drive this one. And he hit that length hard. This is the quickest delivery. The last 3, if you have a look at 138, 139.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिद में आओ। आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
ये जो मच्छर की आवाज है खतरे का साज है।
किंग टॉक्स घर में लाजमी रखें। किंग टॉक्स छोड़ेगा नहीं, मारेगा चुन चुन के।
Thirty-one-year-old Ramachar comes to the crease at number 4, and Afghanistan are in trouble here officially. They've got a big run chase, and they've lost their 2 key players at the top of the order. Those players that do all the damage in the power play, they just have not fired tonight, and they're both now back sitting watching. Strike rate of 70.90 over his career. Well, because of the start and because of a delivery like this, it's going to have to be better than that. No more better sight for a quick bowler after being hit for 6 is to see middle stump cartwheeling back. Gives the opportunity just to pass on a couple of compliments on the way past.
The aggressive fast bowling, we've seen this throughout his initial 10 overs. Ibrahim Zadran is always looking to the offside. Now watch as he shows all 3 stumps, and Rabada hits top of middle, but he ends up being way outside that leg stump. And you don't want to see that again when you go into the dressing room. As you in bold middle stump. Slip in now.
7 off the over, but
जैज से मिले नॉन स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग के सुपर पावर।
तो अभी जैज की वीकली X+ ऑफर लगाओ और बेफिक्र होकर चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी देखो तमाशा पर।
तो हो जाए पाकिस्तान के नाम टपाल दानेदार का एक और कप।
Mulder into the attack. What a power-packed attack it is when you've got 315 runs on the board. Go to quality pace. Left arm, right arm. Plenty at his disposal has Bubba. Bjorn Mulder. Say Clarkson's fit next game. Who for? Who for?
Yeah, it's probably a tough one to call. I mean, you want to probably keep the extra option of Mulder, but the way it went today, you might think, well, Temba goes back to the top of the order with Riggleton, and maybe Dazorzi misses out at the top. He's not been the greatest of touch. And then they've got that strong middle order. You've got Van der Dussen, you've got Markham, you've got Miller, and then Klaasen comes in with Janssen. It probably looks a little bit better. Just in the form that Dazorzi's been as of late. Bjorn Mulder's done a lot of hard work on his bowling. He had a bit of a stress fracture issue when he first came in, and he's changed his action. And he really worked hard on trying to get a little bit quicker as well. His last delivery was 138. He used to start off and hover around late 120s, maybe early 130s. But he's really worked hard at trying to get a little bit more speed. We saw the graphic they introduced him as right arm medium. If he's going to hover around 138, we can maybe get a medium fast out of that graphic.
There were good signs on occasions from Afghanistan, but not often enough. They just could not get the start they wanted. They needed to be through to about 50 or 60 for one at the very most. And on the back of that, 6, just to put a full stop on the power play, tick South Africa. But what you're also telling me off air before is the MASH unit, the list of players who are injured at the moment in terms of pace.
Yeah, there's some quality fast bowlers that are missing for South Africa. There's the power play 2 situation, just the 4 fielders permitted out. That was the adjustment made not so long ago where weren't allowed the extra one out. Kutsia, Heinrich Nokia, all express bowlers who unfortunately have picked up injuries that have kept them out of action for a good period of time. I know there's a massive drive to try and get them fit and ready as options for the Test Championship, which happens in 3 or 4 months' time. But yeah, it has been disappointing, and in many series they've had to kind of go with fledgling players who really don't have the experience and know how to deal at the top level. But they've all learnt on the job. But it's great at this championship to have everyone available.
Well, he hasn't wasted an opportunity to get those extra fielders out, even though he's in control of the game at the moment, Bavuma, and that's one of them down there at third man. Got one at point, square leg, and a fairly wide sort of fine leg. So those extra 2 players you're allowed out now from over 10 onwards or 11 onwards are being used. Yeah, that is it's a big injury list. Game coming up this weekend for you, India, Pakistan.
Oh, I thought you were going New Zealand, India.